Welcome. Today, we're about to unravel one of the most astonishing stories in numismatic history. The tale of a 1988 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, experts, and enthusiasts around the globe. A coin that has reportedly fetched a mind-blowing $19 million because of a combination of rare minting errors, unexpected design transitions, and mysterious anomalies that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever known to exist. So get ready to immerse yourself in this captivating story of how a single small copper-colored coin became a multi-million-dollar treasure, proving once again that even the tiniest details can make all the difference in the world of coin collecting, where one overlooked imperfection can turn an ordinary cent into a priceless artifact of history. The 1988 1-cent coin, at first glance, looks just like any other penny you might find in your change jar, bearing the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner and Frank Gasparo respectively. But beneath that ordinary appearance lies an extraordinary story of transition, error, and rarity. In 1988, the U.S. Mint was on the cusp of a significant design change that would take full effect the following year in 1989, when new master dies were being prepared with subtle modifications, especially to the designer's initials FG on the reverse side of the coin near the right side of the Lincoln Memorial. And that is where the story of the 1988 1-cent coin's immense value begins. During the transition, some 1988 Lincoln cents were accidentally struck using the reverse die intended for the 1989 design, resulting in a rare variety known to collectors as the 1988 with 1989 reverse, or simply the 1988 transitional reverse penny. This seemingly minor difference, a shift in the shape and positioning of the initials FG, became a defining feature that set these coins apart from the billions of regular 1988 pennies. In this tiny design quirk, where the G and FG on the reverse has a clear vertical serif and the letters appear closer and more sharply defined, lies the clue to identifying one of the most elusive and valuable pennies in modern numismatics. Now imagine that a collector or even an unsuspecting person finds one of these coins in their loose change. At first, it might seem trivial, but once examined closely and verified by grading authorities such as PCGS or NGC, the reality of its significance hits hard. It's a transitional error from the design phase that makes it far rarer than most known Lincoln cents. Over the years, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters have scoured millions of 1988 pennies, hoping to find one of these rare errors. And when a pristine example was discovered in near-perfect condition with the transitional reverse confirmed, its value skyrocketed, eventually leading to a record-breaking auction price of $19 million because it wasn't just the design transition that made it special, but also the combination of other striking anomalies that appeared on certain examples. Some of these coins showed doubling on the obverse lettering, slight off-center strikes, die cracks running through Lincoln's portrait, or planchet imperfections that add layers of uniqueness, turning each one into a miniature masterpiece of minting chaos and historical significance. Collectors love a good story, and the 1988 cent offers exactly that, a blend of mystery, minting evolution, and accidental brilliance. To understand why it's so valuable, we must also consider the context of the late 1980s in U.S. coinage production, when the Mint was experimenting with refining die engraving techniques, trying to improve design clarity, and adjusting for the copper-plated zinc composition that had been in use since 1982. This period was full of technical adjustments, and errors often slipped through unnoticed, making any transitional or hybrid die varieties especially intriguing. When one of these coins was authenticated with absolute certainty that it was a 1988 obverse paired with a 1989 reverse, collectors immediately realized the rarity, because only a tiny handful of such mistakes ever left the mint. Imagine billions of normal coins struck perfectly and only a few struck with a mismatched die. The probability of survival in uncirculated condition was astronomically low. The coin that reached the incredible $19 million valuation was not only flawless in condition, graded MS 70 by top-tier graders, but also confirmed to have the transitional reverse variety combined with a visible doubling on the obverse date, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen that embodies every collector's dream. The emotional value attached to it goes beyond metal and minting. It represents history, rarity, and the unrepeatable quirks of human craftsmanship in mass production. Over time, stories circulated about how this particular coin was found. Some say it was discovered in a small jar of change at a Midwest estate sale. Others believe it came directly from a roll of uncirculated 1988 cents obtained from a Federal Reserve bag. Either way, the journey from pocket change to $19 million treasure has fascinated the entire numismatic community. The mistakes that make this coin so valuable include not just the reverse die mismatch, but also the distinct polishing marks visible under magnification, suggesting that the die had been altered during maintenance, leaving telltale lines across the fields of the coin that match no other known specimen. These microscopic clues provide authentication and ensure that fakes can't easily replicate the exact same combination of anomalies. Furthermore, experts analyzing this coin under high-resolution imaging found that the strike pressure used was slightly higher than normal, producing an unusually sharp relief in Lincoln's portrait and a pronounced rim detail, indicating that it was among the first few strikes from the newly mismatched die pair, making it even more unique. Another fascinating aspect is the metallurgical composition. While most 1988 cents were made from copper-plated zinc, this particular specimen reportedly contained an unusually high copper content, suggesting either a leftover planchet from an earlier batch or a minting oversight that allowed the wrong metal mix to be used, thereby combining a transitional reverse, a double die obverse, and a composition anomaly all in one coin, creating what some experts call the perfect storm of numismatic rarity. The chances of all these factors aligning are near impossible, and that's why when it surfaced in the high-end collector market, bidding wars erupted among wealthy enthusiasts and museums. The final sale price of $19 million not only shattered previous records, but also redefined how modern-era coins can achieve such astronomical values. Collectors and investors see it as a symbol of the unpredictable beauty of minting history, and it has since inspired thousands of people to start searching their own coins, hoping to find hidden gems from the same period. Every detail of this coin has been analyzed down to the atomic level. Metallurgists, die specialists, and historians have all studied it to understand how such a combination of errors could have occurred. Some suggest it was the result of a mint worker accidentally mixing dies during a transition phase between 1988 and 1989, while others theorize that it was struck intentionally as an experimental piece that somehow escaped quality control. The possibilities are endless, and that mystery adds to the allure. When a coin carries both confirmed historical error and speculative intrigue, its market value can rise exponentially, especially when there is only one or a few verified examples. It becomes more than a collectible. It becomes a cultural artifact, a tangible link to the precision and imperfection of human creation. What's even more astonishing is how small details like the designer's initials or subtle shifts in engraving can command millions in the marketplace, reminding us that numismatics is as much about storytelling as it is about metal. The 1988 cent story also shows how advanced imaging and authentication have revolutionized coin collecting. Back in the 1990s, many of these coins might have been overlooked or dismissed as ordinary. But today, with digital microscopes and grading technology, even the faintest die varieties can be detected and verified, preserving them for future generations. And when such a coin combines rarity, perfect condition, transitional features, and historical significance, it crosses the line from being a hobbyist curiosity to an investment-grade masterpiece.